Y'all come on out. Hard enough. Right here, please. Right here. All right.
Good morning. We are currently live streaming. I would like to get started as soon as possible. I know that we have the inmate available. If you all would position the camera so that I can see the people who I will be swearing in, that would be great, and we can get started.
Yep.
Hey, you gonna go right now? You gonna do 4 across? Huh? Hey, y'all come out too. No, you're gonna stand up, face that way, 4 across. Right here. Okay, come on down. You get in the front up there. Front of them. That's right. Y'all two go to the front. Good, right.
I'm only seeing bodies, not faces. I know y'all probably are trying to get the camera together. Please pull it up if you can.
Need to flip the camera back on. Is it gonna come through the screen? Yeah.
Thank you. That's better. Would everybody please raise your right hands? Do you swear or affirm that the information contained in your application for court-appointed counsel that's already been presented to the court, as well as any information given to this court, will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you? If so, say I do.
Yeah.
All right, you can put your hands down. Please listen up very carefully. This is your first appearance. I'm getting ready to read some information to you all to help better explain what the process is and what you can expect from the court this morning. It is very important that you all listen so that when it's your individual time to come forward, we can move through this matter expeditiously. Everybody understand?
Yeah.
So this is your first appearance before the Magistrate Court of Clayton County. We are not here to try your case or to take a plea. You are here for the court to inform you of the charges against you, to advise you of certain rights, to set bail on those offenses for which the court is authorized to set bail, to schedule a preliminary hearing, and to determine whether you require the assistance of an attorney. You have the right to remain silent and say nothing, but should you give up this right, anything you say during this proceeding may be used against you if this case goes to trial. Before I continue, is Janice Moore in here with us?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I wanted to make sure because I didn't want to have to read this again. During this and all other proceedings, you have the right to the presumption of innocence until the state proves your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to indictment by grand jury for most felonies or by accusation for misdemeanors. You have the right to a speedy and public trial by jury. You have the right to see, hear, and cross-examine witnesses who have been brought to testify against you. You also have the right to compel the attendance of your own witness by use of subpoenas. You have the right to testify and offer evidence in your own defense. However, should you choose not to do so, no presumption of guilt can be raised by your assertion of your right to remain silent. You have the right to have an attorney represent you, and it is the policy of this court to appoint each of you a court-appointed attorney or a public defender. However, you always have the right to hire your own counsel or to represent yourself. As of today, you all will get an attorney to represent you. Some of you will be allowed to post unrestricted bonds. Please pay very close attention to this part as I explain to you what that means. These bonds are conditions of your release from jail pending the prosecution of your case. The bond may be cash, commercial, or property. If you post a cash bond, someone will deliver the full amount of the bond in cash to the jail or the sheriff's department, who will hold it with any applicable fees until your case is closed. At the closing of your case, that cash bond will be returned to the person who posted it. You could also use a commercial bonding company, which may take as their fee up to 15% of the total of the bond as a fee for your bond. This bond that's used by the commercial bonding company, or this fee, I should say, is not returned to you once your case is closed. Someone could also post a property bond on your behalf. In order for your property to qualify for bond, there must be equity at least 3 times your bond amount as issued today. So for example, if the court sets a bond of $2,000, your property must have equity of at least $6,000 to qualify as a property bond. Everyone will have special conditions on your bond. At minimum, you will have a condition that you shall not violate any laws while out on bond. Some of you may have additional conditions that prohibit you from going around certain people or returning to certain places. The court takes all of these special conditions very seriously, and you will be required to acknowledge these conditions. You will be prohibited from calling or having any contact with the alleged victim in the case while you are in jail or once you are bonded out. Should you violate the court's order, your bond will be revoked and you will not be entitled to another bond while awaiting trial. The charge of aggravating stalking, influencing a witness, or any such other charge could be brought against you, and you would face up to $20,000 fine as well as up to 10 years in prison. So once again, please understand that the court takes these conditions very seriously, and you are expected to abide by any special conditions that are applied to your bond. If you have family members who are streaming in live, or if you plan on calling family members to assist you with the bond, please let them know that they should at least wait about 3 hours from the conclusion of this calendar to allow for the court to process all of the paperwork. If the family member is the alleged victim in this case and the court is put in a no contact order, that family member will not be allowed to post bond on your behalf. Some of you are charged with offenses for which the court is not authorized by law to set a bail. In this event, a bond hearing will be scheduled before a superior court judge, and you will be informed of that date. If you are currently on active probation, this court is not authorized to set a bond in your case. Your bond can be reconsidered after having presented the matter to your probation officer and they've had an opportunity to determine if you will qualify for a probation bond, if they're going to do any kind of violation of probation holds. Usually this will occur during your preliminary hearing. The purpose of the preliminary hearing, everybody please continue to listen because this part is very important. We often have a lot of questions about this and the court cannot give you legal advice. So please pay attention as I explain to you the purpose of the preliminary hearing. The purpose of a preliminary hearing is to determine if there is enough evidence or probable cause to justify keeping you detained in jail until your case goes to trial. For those of you who are charged with misdemeanors only, you have the option of waiving your preliminary hearing at today's date. Waiving your hearing does not affect your right to post bond. It does not affect your right to have an attorney represent you, and it does not affect your right to have a trial. If you post your bond, your preliminary hearing is automatically waived. You will be mailed your court notice in the mail, whether that is for a state court arraignment or for another superior court matter. If you cannot make bond, you may still waive your preliminary hearing to expedite your matter and move your matter along quicker through the courts. If you cannot make bond, but you still decide to waive your preliminary hearing, your case will go before a state court judge, at which time you will either plead guilty and be sentenced immediately or plead not guilty and be placed on a trial calendar. As you come forward, the court will state your name, state your charges, and ask you if you have any questions about your charges. I've already stated that we are streaming this live. If you understand your charges, you can let the court know I understand my charges. You do not need to read my warrant aloud. If you say you do not understand and you want me to read your charges, I will be reading your warrant aloud in its entirety for you all and anybody who's streaming to hear it. Does everybody understand?
Yes, ma'am.
We will be taking the women inmates first. Deputies, you can take the males back. We will start with Elantra Carroll.
Carol.
After Ms. Carroll, we will have Ms. Erica Davis.
Come back around. I'm looking at you.
Ms. Carroll, good afternoon or still morning. You are charged with DUI, let's say, stop sign violation, license violation, and giving a false name. Your bond is $9,500. Are you able to make bond? Do you understand the nature of your charges? Another condition of your bond is that you must not violate any laws while out on bond. Do you understand that condition, ma'am? Please pull your mask down just so I can hear you.
Yes, ma'am.
Heard you, but I just want to make sure. I know you were being safe, so as soon as we're done, you can pull it back up.
Thank you.
You're facing misdemeanors only. You said you're going to make bond. Do you also wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
Yes.
Thank you. Your next court date will come in the mail. I am appointing an attorney to represent you. You can put your mask back on. Have a good day.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Erica Davis.
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am. After Ms. Davis, we'll have Autumn Ferguson. Ms. Davis, you are charged with simple battery. Do you understand the nature of your charges, or do you need your warrant read aloud?
Yes, ma'am. I understand.
Your bond is $3,500. A condition of your bond is to stay away from Franklin Njoku. Is that his name?
Yes.
Do you all reside together?
Yeah, we just had a baby. We're engaged.
Okay. What is your address?
235 Roberts Drive.
Roberts Drive?
Yes, ma'am.
While I understand you are engaged, that is your residence, and you just had a baby, the court is telling you you cannot go back to that property until this matter is resolved. I will allow you to go to that property with a sheriff's escort for the limited purpose of retrieving your personal property. Do you understand, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
You cannot go around him unless and until this matter is resolved or until it is modified by another court. I am appointing an attorney to represent you. You can share your concerns with your lawyer about your relationship status with Mr. Njoku, but please, please, please do not go around him and do not go back to that property unless and until that matter is adjusted by another judge. Do you understand?
But this is the only question. That's my house, but where is he?
I understand. You all live together. The court cannot give you legal advice. It is the order of this court based on the nature of the charges that you cannot be around him, nor can you return to that property without a sheriff's escort. Like I said, I've appointed an attorney to represent you. You can talk with that lawyer about maybe getting another judge to modify that condition. But based on the nature of the charges, the court is not comfortable with allowing you to go around Mr. Njoku or that property without a sheriff's escort. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Must also not violate any laws while out on bond. This is a misdemeanor offense. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
Yes.
And you are able to make bond, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Have a good day, ma'am. After Ms. Ferguson, we'll have Aubrey Goodson. Ms. Ferguson, you are charged with battery. Your bond is $3,500. Do you understand the nature of your charge, or would you like your warrant read? You are to stay away from Kelvin Weldon. You cannot return to 611 Brookstone Circle in College Park, and you must not violate any laws while out on bond. It was indicated on the warrant that the Brookstone Circle is your address, so the court will allow you to go with the sheriff's escort for the limited purpose of retrieving your personal property. You cannot go back to that property unescorted unless and until this matter is resolved. Do you understand, ma'am? Are you able to make bond?
I don't know.
This is a misdemeanor offense. You have the option of waiving your preliminary hearing. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing? Thank you. Have a good day. After Ms. Goodson, we'll have Vanessa Jackson. Ms. Goodson, you are charged with simple battery. Your bond is $3,500. Do you understand the nature of your charge, or do you want your warrant read aloud? Please take your mask off. I cannot hear you.
I understand.
Thank you. You are to stay away from Danye Purdy or Danae Purdy. You cannot return to 606 Briar Hill Court in Clayton County. You must not violate any laws while out on bond. Are you able to make bond? Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing? Was that a yes?
Yes.
Thank you. Have a good day. Are you Miss Vanessa Jackson? You, after Mr. Jackson, we will have Kalia Jordan. Ma'am, you are charged with obstruction of an officer. Your bond is $3,500. Do you understand the nature of your charge, or would you like your warrant read aloud?
I understand.
You are not to violate any laws while out on bond as a condition of your bond. Are you able to make bond? You wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
No.
Your next court date will be June 29th at 8:30 a.m. in room 202. If you bond out, which you said you will, your court date will come in the mail. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Gordon, you are charged with no license. Your bond is $1,000. Do you understand the nature of your charge?
Yes,
Do you want your warrant read aloud, or you're okay?
yes,
So you must not violate any laws while out on bond. Are you able to make bond? Do you wish to have your preliminary hearing? You have to say yes. You can't just nod. Okay. So I know you said you nodded, but you said yes, correct?
yes.
Your next court date will come in the mail. You have been appointed an attorney to represent you. Have a good day, ma'am. Are you Miss Sinkfield?
No.
Miss Sinkfield, please come forward. I know we're trying to expedite matters, but some of the forms got out of order, so please wait for your name to be called before coming forward. After Miss Sinkfield will be Roseanne Smith. Ma'am, you are Miss Tyara Sinkfield. You are charged with obstruction of an officer, hindering the a fugitive, or I guess apprehension of a criminal, and theft by receiving stolen property. Your bond is $15,500. Are you able to make bond?
Yes.
You are facing misdemeanor and felony charges, so you do not have the option to waive your preliminary hearing. Your next court date will be July 2nd at 8 a.m. in room 202. I have appointed an attorney to represent you. Have a good day. Roseanne Smith.
Roxanne. They spelled it wrong.
After Miss Roseanne Smith, we'll have Tiana Smith. Ma'am, you are charged with aggravated assault and criminal trespass. Do you understand the nature of your charges, or do you want your warrant read aloud?
I don't understand it. Can I speak?
Okay, I'm gonna read your warrant. You said you don't understand. I can't give you legal advice, but I am authorized to read your warrant, so give me a moment.
What's your name? Tiana?
You are Roxanne Smith or Roseanne Smith.
Yes.
You're
Roxanne,
charged with pulling a knife on your son, Alexander Smith, during an argument inside of your home. There was a struggle over the knife, which led to both parties being injured, suffering lacerations to their hands. The offender did also throw the victim's belongings outside of the home during the incident. These events took place at 6241 Bermuda Street, Forest Park, Clayton County, Georgia. That is what the courts reviewed in determining your warrant for aggravated assault and criminal trespass. The court has determined that there is probable cause for both of those warrants. You do not have a bond at this time. Should you get a bond, a condition of that bond will be to stay away from Alexander Smith and to not return to 6241 Bermuda Street in Forest Park, Georgia. However, as stated, you do not have a bond at this time. The court has appointed an attorney to represent you. Your next court date will be July 2nd at 8 a.m. in room 202. Have a good day, ma'am.
You step up. Pull your mask down. You got Tiana Smith.
Are you Tiana Smith?
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning. After Ms. Smith will be Janice Moore.
Yeah.
Ma'am, you are charged with unlawful conduct during a 911 call. Your bond is $3,500. Do you understand the nature of your charge?
Yes, ma'am.
Condition of your bond is that you must not violate any laws while out on bond. This is a misdemeanor charge. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
Yeah.
And you are going to be able to make bond? Thank you. Your next court date will come in the mail. I am appointing an attorney to represent you. Have a good day.
Thank you.
After Ms. Moore, we will start with the male inmates. The first male we'll deal with will be Andrew or Frederick Andrew. Ms. Moore,
Yeah.
charged with aggravated assault. Do you understand the nature of your charge, or do you need your warrant read aloud?
Come on.
I'm okay.
I'm not asking, do you agree? I'm asking, do you understand?
Yes.
Charged with. If you don't understand, I can read the warrant for you. Would you like me to read the warrant?
Thank you.
Charged with committing the offense of aggravated assault, it is alleged that you used a knife offensively against Tommy Riddle, which resulted in serious bodily injury when he sustained a knife puncture wound to his right bicep, which was bleeding profusely. This occurred while inside of a Toyota Camry during a verbal altercation. The victim and offender do not meet family violence criteria. This occurred in Clayton County, Georgia. The judge reviewed that warrant, and it was determined that there is probable cause for the request for aggravated assault charges against you. So the court is approving that warrant request. You do not have a bond at this time. Should you get a bond, a condition of your bond will be to stay away from Tommy Riddle. The court has appointed an attorney to represent you. Your next court date will be July 2nd at 8 a.m. in room 202. Have a good day, ma'am. Are you Frederick Andrew? After Mr. Andrew will be Kenneth Barron. Or you are charged with speeding in a school zone, license not on person, and DUI refusal. Your bond is $21,000. Do you understand the nature of your charges?
Yes, I do.
You will, are you able to make bond?
Yes, I am.
The condition of your bond, in addition to the bond amount, is that you shall not violate any laws while out on bond. Do you understand?
Yeah.
These charges are misdemeanor charges. You have the option of waiving your preliminary hearing. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. Your next court date will come in the mail. I am appointing an attorney to represent you. Have a good day. After Mr. Barron, we have Maurice Cheney. Are you Mr. Barron?
Yeah.
Good morning, sir. You are charged with no license. Your bond is $1,000 and you must not violate any laws while out on bond. Do you understand your charges?
Yes, ma'am.
This is a misdemeanor. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
No, ma'am.
Your next court date will be June 29th, excuse me, at 8 a.m. in room 202. Are you able to make bond?
Yes, ma'am.
Have a good day. Are you Maurice Cheney? After Mr. Cheney will be Gregory Cooper. Sir, you are charged with simple battery, criminal damage to property in the second degree, which is a felony, cruelty to children in the third degree, battery, family violence, and criminal trespass. Do you understand the nature of your charges, or would you like your several warrants read aloud?
I understand.
Condition of your bond is that you must stay away from Leslie Cooper, Delilah Murphy, and London Cooper. You cannot return to 765 Bryan Lane in Forest Park. It was indicated on the warrant that this is your residence. As such, you will be allowed to return to the property with a sheriff's escort for the limited purpose of retrieving your personal property. However, you cannot go back to that property unescorted unless and until this matter is resolved or until this condition is modified by another court through consent or by a modification order. Do you understand?
Ma'am.
You must not violate any laws while out on bond. Are you able to make bond?
Yes, ma'am.
Your next court date will be July 2nd at 8 a.m. in room 202. Have a good day.
How much my bud is?
I know one.
What was the question?
What was the bud?
19,000.
Okay.
Have a good day. Are you Mr. Gregory Cooper?
No.
Good morning. After Mr. Cooper, we will have Chiadozi Felix. Sir, you are charged with theft by receiving stolen property. Your bond is $15,000. Do you understand the nature of your charge? You need your warrant read aloud.
No.
You understand? Your bond is $15,000. You must not violate the laws while out on bond. Are you able to make bond?
No.
Your next court date will be July 2nd at 8 a.m. in room 202. I have appointed an attorney to represent you. Have a good day.
Put your mask on, man. Put your mask on.
Mr. Felix? Are you Mr. Felix?
Yes, ma'am.
After Mr. Felix will be Bryant Jackson. You are charged with DUI, lead safe, and improper lane change. Do you understand the nature of your charge, or do you need your warrant read aloud?
You can read it, ma'am.
You understand? I can't hear you.
I said, can you please read it for me, ma'am?
You are accused of being in the physical control of a tan 2000 Honda Accord displaying Georgia tag RSA 1132, driving on Highway 85 near Roberts Drive, failing to maintain your lane by crossing the painted lines while also under the influence of alcohol to the extent that it was less safe to drive. This was determined by physical contact, watery, bloodshot eyes, unable to speak, slurred speech, and conducting standardized field sobriety tests. Preliminary breath test results of 0.143 grams. The court reviewed this warrant in its entirety and determined that there was enough probable cause to find that there is a approval of the DUI warrant request. We also approved the request for a warrant for improper lane change. As such, your bond is $5,500 and you must not violate any laws out on bond. Are you able to make bond?
Ma'am, actually, I was given the wrong information.
The question from the court is, are you able to make bond, sir?
I don't know, ma'am, because I just started my job this week.
Okay, so the answer is I don't know. So you are facing a misdemeanor charge. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
No, ma'am.
Your next court date will be June 29th at 8:30 a.m. in room 202. Have a good day.
Stand up straight, sir.
Are you Mr. Jackson?
Yeah.
After Mr. Jackson will be Bradley Johnson. Mr. Jackson, you are charged with 2 counts of aggravated assault, 8 counts of possession of firearm by a convicted felon, 1 count of a felony violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act, 1 felony count of theft by receiving stolen property, 1 misdemeanor count of use or possession of drug-related objects, and 1 misdemeanor count of obstruction of an officer. Do you understand the nature of your charges, or would you like your warrants read aloud?
I understand.
You do not have a bond at this time. Should you get a bond, a condition of that bond will be to stay away from Rogelio Keys and Ebonice Nuquando, but as stated, you do not have a bond at this time. The court has appointed an attorney to represent you. Your next court date will be July 2nd at 8 a.m. in room 202. Have a good day.
You too.
Thank you.
Hey, Carl, he need to go to the infirmary to get rerouted.
Mr. Bradley Johnson will have Brandon Presley. Good morning, sir. You are charged with violation of the seatbelt law, a felony count of violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act, and possession of marijuana less than an ounce. Do you understand your charges, or would you like your warrants read aloud?
Understand?
Your bond is $8,500 and you must not violate any laws while out on bond. Are you able to make bond?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm appointing an attorney to represent you. Your next court date will be July 2nd at 8 a.m. in room 202. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you. After Mr. Presley, we will have Aaron Shepard Tigner. Mr. Presley, you are charged with driving under the influence. Your bond is $20,000. You understand the nature of your charge?
Ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Are you able to make bond? A condition of your bond is that you must not violate any laws while out on bond. This is a misdemeanor offense. You have the option of waiving your preliminary hearing. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing? Your next court date will be June 29th at 8 a.m. in room 202.
Okay.
Step this way.
Are you Mr. Shepard Tigner?
No.
After Mr. Shepard Tigner, we should have Terrell Smith, and that should be our last one.
Okay.
Sir, you are charged with battery, family violence, criminal trespass, obstruction of an officer, and giving a false name. Your bond is $14,000. Do you understand the nature of your charges, or do you want your warrant read aloud?
I understand.
Give me one moment.
They can still hear. They can still hear. I know. So anybody can watch this on YouTube? They still watching.
We are back. So you said you did understand, and did you hear me say that your bond is $14,000, right?
Yes, ma'am.
The condition of your bond is that you must stay away from Chelsea Atkinson, and you cannot return to 3004 South Lake Court Cove in Jonesboro, Georgia. It was indicated on the warrants that this is your residence, so the court will allow you to return to the residence with a sheriff escort for the limited purpose of retrieving your personal property. However, you cannot go back to that property unescorted, and you cannot go back to that property, be around her until this matter is resolved. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
You must also not violate any laws out on bond. Are you able to make bond?
Yes, ma'am.
These are all misdemeanor charges, so you have the option of waiving your preliminary hearing. Do you wish to have your preliminary hearing?
No, ma'am.
Your next court date will be June 29th at 8:30 a.m. in room 202. Have a good day.
Yes, ma'am.
You Miss Terrell Smith or Terrell Smith?
Mhm.
You are charged with disorderly conduct and crossing a crosswalk at the intersection. Do you understand the nature of your charges, or you want your warrant read?
I don't understand why they didn't say that I got jumped before I even started running.
Do you want I'm not asking do you agree, I'm asking do you understand what you were charged with? Do you understand or do you want me to read the warrant?
Yes,
Yes, you understand or yes, you want me to read it?
yes, I understand.
Your bond is $2,000 and you must not violate any laws out on bond. Are you able to make bond?
Yes, ma'am.
This is a misdemeanor. These are misdemeanor offenses, so you can waive your preliminary hearing. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
Yes, ma'am.
You have a good day.
Judge, do you have a Jamel McAllister?
Yes, Mr. McAllister bonded out.
Okay, well, we got him here, so we'll send him back.
Yes, I meant to, right before we got started, I got an email that he was bonded out.
All right, thank you, Judge.
Thank you. You all are done, right? That's everybody?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, y'all have a good day.
Well, you can't.